We're talking about the wise men. This is the fourth word of our series. 4 words that can change Christmas forever. And I put on Facebook last night, wise men still blank. And asked people, guess the word. Thank you, Chris, for your collaboration. Welcome. You were wrong.
I figured.
Wise men still serve him. Sounds odd. Let me give you a little history of the Magi today, and then I'm going to talk about what unpacked here in Matthew chapter 2. Because I think it's really important for you and I, and us as a congregation, to figure out, why am I here on this planet? And have you ever asked yourself this question where you come to Christ, you invite him into your heart, and why isn't it, poof, I'm in heaven? Why am I here? Why am I left behind, Lord? Doesn't it feel that way sometimes? You see, God has a plan and a purpose for each and every one of us and for our congregation. And we're going to talk about that. So, these Magi. After Jesus was born, the wise men came to look for him. Most probably, they were from they say they were from the east, but there's speculation of whether they were from Iraq or Iran or Saudi Arabia or Yemen. Although that they are often called the 3 kings, the Bible does not say exactly how many they were, or if they were even kings. But there were 3 gifts. One thing I do know, there was a whole lot of them. Because 3 people of noble status did not travel in those days alone. So there was an entourage of entourages, you know? You know, when our president goes away, how many people go with him? How many?
2 plane loads.
2 plane loads. 2 plane loads. By the way, how many is on a plane load? Oh, about 150 people. So if one head of state takes 300 with him, what do these 3 dudes do? Okay? Just, I want you to unpack that. But they were men of learning. They were men of great learning. The word magi comes from the Greek word magos, where the English word magic comes from. Magos comes from itself from the old Persian word magnopati, and it was given to priests in a sect of ancient Persian religions. We would call them today astronomers / astrologers. Back then, astronomy and astrology were extremely close in their overall studies as a science, and they went hand in hand with each other. Now, here's the thing, and I want you to hear this now. There's biblical precedences for these magi. And I'm going to give you a little, I don't want to overwhelm you with the stuff. John MacArthur did a phenomenal, intensive study on the Magi. It's available online. You can go there. I went there. Listen, I am not a biblical scholar. I am not. Never will be. You know, I'm 53, ain't happening. But I am a student of the Word. And there's some pretty smart guys out there. I hang with a few of them. It's like, by the way, Easter Sunday, the smartest guy on the planet on the resurrection is here, Mike Lacona. The best Greek scholar on the resurrection alive will be here Easter Sunday morning to preach on the resurrection. It was a no-brainer. You say, smartest Greek guy in the world, me, no-brainer. Okay. Anyway, these magi, more than likely, were from Yemen. You say, huh? You see, the kings of Yemen in the time of Christ were Jewish. They were Jewish. These kings in Yemen. So these magi, these great men of knowledge, of students, were not only people who were seeking truth, but men of science, who were advisors, noblemen to these kings. It made sense that they came from there. Now, give you some background. In Jeremiah, it talks about in 39 verse 3, a man named Negro-Seljazzar. He is mentioned as the chief of the Magi in the court of Nebuchadnezzar. In the context of Scripture, Oriental kings, starting with Nebuchadnezzar, had elevated the Magi to a place of being official advisors to the king. Even when Babylon fell to the Medo-Persian Empire, these great rulers like Darius the Great and Cyrus still chose their high-ranking officials from this group of folks in the government. And among these leaders were Magi. They were unmatched in political power than anyone in their society. Where did this... They were a priestly group. They celebrated blood sacrifices in their religions. They were very eclectic in their religion, where wherever they were in the ruling power, they would assimilate into their belief system what others believed. But you see, there was a man who came along in the point of history who changed the Magi. His name was Daniel. And in Daniel chapter 2, in the context of the chapter, we are in the court of Nebuchadnezzar in Babylon, where Daniel and other Jews are residing in captivity. And in verse 10 says the Chaldeans. By the way, Chaldeans, when you read the word Chaldeans, substitute the word Magi. Answered before the king and said, there is not a man upon the earth that can reveal the king's matter. Therefore there is no king, Lord, nor ruler who has asked so much of any magician, astrologer, or Chaldean. And that it may be those three classifications that are synonymous with the Hebrew term for Magi. The translation magician is really the English corruption of the word Magi, which seems to refer to this priestly tribe. The term again appears in verse 27. Daniel answered in the presence of the king and said, the secret which the king hath demanded cannot be the wise men, the astrologers, the magicians, the soothsayers to reveal to the king. The book of Daniel reinforces the fact that the Magi had a very prominent place in government at that time.